Good day, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar learning event. My name is Eric Field, and I'm the Director of Operations with New Patient Group. I'm also a VIP coach, so I get to work alongside many practices that are working to reach new levels of achievement. I hope you'll please note my phone number and email address so you might reach out to me with any questions you have unique to your practice after our discussion today. Additionally, as we go through today's webinar, please use the chat feature to ask your questions. You'll see a dialog bubble likely on the right side of your screen where you can ask, and we'll have someone on our team collect those questions so we can answer those at the end of the webinar. And to help us out, could you please make sure your microphone is muted by clicking the microphone icon, again likely on the right side of your screen. Thank you. I want to welcome you today and thank you for joining us on the discussion, one of the number of topics that we include in our webinar series. The topics noted are ones that we repeat on a regular basis, but we certainly have many other topics we love to discuss as well. Please review our website under the events link to see the topics we'll be speaking on in the upcoming weeks and months. You'll quickly find while working with New Patient Group, we are all about efforts to grow your business. Not your practice, but your business. And that's an important consideration as we'll discuss. If you're managing your practice much like you did 5 to 10 years ago, you are likely getting left behind. It's time to act like your company's CEO and manage your business. Yes, clinical considerations are important, but you and your team have to be completely in touch with your business and the many commercial avenues that affect your success. Today's conversation will focus on social media management and how to manage at a high standard. But let's consider why these discussions are so important to have to begin with. There are many answers, but primarily it's because we're part of a rapidly changing industry. Surely you can recognize, whether you're in dental or orthodontics or other specialties, it's not the same business as it was only a few years ago. A wave of change is taking place. Here are a few things to consider regarding these changes. There are more dentists and specialists than ever before. More schools mean more students, which means more professionals. Even if the market cannot support them all, it's what's happening. Changing referral patterns. Many of you on this call are specialists, so you have surely recognized how much less frequent you are seeing professional referrals as more patients are finding services through other means. Dental service organizations are a huge part of the change that's taking place. Mostly dental practices, and now several ortho practices, and continuing to expand to other specialties as well. This is a game changer and is expected to become 50% of all practices by the year 2020. How do DSOs impact the business? There are so many ways, but here are a few. First, they have unlimited marketing budgets, very difficult to compete with. They have internal referrals within their group. They offer more services than ever before, which are generally being driven by corporate direction. Yet, orthodontic starts are increasing year after year after year. The demand is high, so there is much more opportunity available for those who are ready to come and get it by doing things the right way. And finally, all this leads to a changing consumer. More and more rare is a patient finding your practice. These are consumers now seeking services and shopping for that service as they would a big screen TV, a restaurant to eat dinner, or even for a plumber. The fact is, today's consumers don't value dentistry the way we do, nor the way they did even 20 years ago. This evidence has been provided from the Journal of Dental Economics. Only 50% of people visit a dentist regularly. So we have to alter how we position ourselves within the consumer's buying cycle. Consumers go through a 3-step cycle before making a purchase, starting with understanding. Understanding what it is they are thinking of purchasing. This comes through education. Then the consumer has to determine the value. What is the relevance this item, this product, this service plays into their life? Finally, They have to justify spending their hard-earned money on this item as compared to other things they may be also considering. So the competition is not as much what other orthodontists or dentists down the street are doing as it is the best buy on the corner. Again, the consumer has to understand, value, and justify before they will make their purchasing decision. Everything you do within the commercial areas of your practice play into this buying cycle. So a brief description of what we are all about at New Patient Group. We work with dental and specialty practices for all the reasons mentioned a moment ago, because the industry is changing and it needs attention on the commercial parts of the practice. We are like the company that provides CE for your business as compared to CE for your clinical care. We take great pride in bringing high-level solutions to practices that are already quality, but practices that also recognize these changes and recognize their own need to adapt. We work within these businesses as partners, not as consultants, but more so as a division within the practice. The commercial training division, more specifically. One avenue we focus on is to create new business opportunities, driving more consumers to the practice. But more so, we place great focus on reducing lost opportunities. If practices would spend more attention on how to simply get better, they'd immediately start to grow. Today's topic is within the creating new opportunity side of the equation. So let's get started on social media marketing and management. As we talk about social media marketing, we have to again understand that we are positioning ourselves to a consumer. If you've ever read up on Google's term called ZIMA, you'll understand the complexity of doing so. ZIMA is the zero moment of truth, a take on a well-known marketing principle known as the moment of truth. I encourage you to look this up on Google and learn more about the ZIMA. What you'll find out is that today's consumers make their purchasing decisions in dozens of different ways and uniquely for themselves as an individual. Your website may be someone's ZIMA. How you answer your phone may be someone else's. How they feel about your practice and the welcome you provide. And certainly social media is a zero moment of truth for many consumers. So what we're going to be discussing today, first we'll look at what social media should be doing for your practice. What's the impact it should be having? We'll talk about our thoughts at New Patient Group on search engine marketing, pay-per-click. We'll spend a good amount of time on the most common social media mistakes and what you should be doing to succeed. Finally, we'll take a look at the lost opportunity and the opportunity available to a business that does social media well. Over time, social media should do many positive things for your practice. When done correctly, you'll see an impact on new patient inquiries. Your consumers will see more value in your business, as well as your profession, and if you're an orthodontist on this call, that should mean a lot to you with the way orthodontics has changed from the consumer perception standpoint. Additionally, your practice brand will see greater recognition. When a social media process is combined with many other wow factors within your practice, your patient referrals will rise. Plus, you'll see an increase in your social media fans, and your search engine rankings will be positively impacted. Speaking of search engine rankings, let's talk a minute about our philosophy at New Patient Group on this topic. When we work closely with our clients, our goal is to be able to wean our practices off search engine marketing or pay-per-click. This is an area of Google we do not feel is of great value, and we have a number of reasons why we feel this way. Here's the area I'm talking about at the top of a Google search review. There are 4 things we are not fans of relative to AdWords and search engine marketing. First, obviously, these are paid positions and they can become quite expensive with time. There are 4 things we are not fans of relative to AdWords and search engine marketing. First, obviously, these are paid positions and can become quite expensive. At New Patient Group, we simply are not fans of spending money routinely on pay-per-click advertising. There are rare exceptions. Secondly, not only are you paying for the advertising service, but you're also generally adding a discount to the service you're offering. That's a double whammy. Giving away a discount that costs you money to advertise? Third, and very importantly, what type of consumer spends time on the AdWords? In most of the clients we work with, the pay-per-click shopper is not generally the type of consumer we are trying to attract. They are too frequently discount shoppers, window shoppers, and patients interested in many consults before they ultimately make their decision. Finally, did you know that over 85% of all Google searchers immediately skip past the paid advertisements? That's right, they skip the pay-per-click area and go down to the Google map or the organic search beneath that. So why wouldn't we want to live in the place where 85% of consumers start their experience? This leads us to the Google Places listings. This is where the absolute majority of the quality shoppers begin their search. Earning your place on Google Places, as well as being in the first several listings of the organic search results, is where we want our clients to live. Our goal in working with clients, and your goal, should always be to get into the first 3 of a Google Places search. But this does take effort through both website development, SEO efforts, and also social media coordination. So let's talk about the most frequently made social media mistakes. There are a number of them, and each creates a lost opportunity for the practice. Yet the reasons for their existence are quite obvious. Generally, time is the culprit for managing social media at an average level versus a 5-star standard. So we will look at each of these 5 items as we go through our discussion. First, not going wide and deep. Second, not customizing posts to specific social media platforms. Not being involved in the success of your social media. Fourth, assigning the responsibility of social media to a random team member. And finally, lack of consistency and patience. So let's talk about the point of going wide and deep. Let me say, posting on Facebook is not success on social media. And I say that with air quotes because that's typically the reply that we get from clients and customers who say that I'm on social media, I'm posting on Facebook. It's a single resource amongst many necessary resources. Going wide means to have exposure on as many social media networks as possible. Everyone has the place or places they like to hang out, so be there. You never know who you may run into, and it's free to be on all of these services. Go deep. Some practices get into a routine of 2 to 3 posts on Facebook or maybe Instagram each week, and honestly, that's better than most. The normal practice is well under this standard. But we believe to do this at a 5-star perspective, posts are made daily, and actually more than once daily, across every single social media platform. This is how you become noticed and how you begin to increase your brand. Think about Facebook, for example. Let's say you have 1,000 fans on your page and you make a post. Mark Zuckerberg's algorithms are going to put you onto about 200 or around that realm of those 1,000 fans' feeds, unless they like, share, or comment further to give you further exposure. But if you post 3 times in a day, you'll multiply your opportunities with very little overlap of the consumers on your page. And even if there is some overlap, who cares? It's still great exposure. Our normal routine is to post on each and every outlet between 1 to 3 times every day. Additionally, don't hesitate to share the same great video or image multiple times. Share it today, then share it again in a month, 3 months, 6 months, and etc. It will still catch the audience's attention even though some may have seen it previously. As we work with our social media clients, we actually work to create a catalog of these types of posts so we can repost them for future benefit. Another common mistake is to ignore the fact that every type of social media has a different type of audience. Things you post on Facebook aren't as powerful on Twitter or Instagram. Things you might put on Snapchat are certainly not what works on LinkedIn. For example, to succeed on Instagram, you have to live with the teens and the millennials. That is, they should be fun, vibrant, and oftentimes goofy posts. Facebook is a bit more eclectic, but doesn't have a great teen following. That doesn't mean you shouldn't use goofy posts, but you should also mix in other informative information. For example, Facebook is a great place for your monthly contests. It's also great for meet our team type of posts. YouTube is a different animal all to itself and extremely important. YouTube isn't just valuable for the fact of what it houses, which are interactive videos, but who owns YouTube? Google. So every piece of video you can put into your YouTube station, created for your practice, is a critical element in your Google search engine optimization ranking as well. One big social media mistake is to not be involved. For a practice to maximize its exposure, its likes, its shares, its comments, etc., you have to be involved. People want to see what you're up to. They want to see what you're all about. By using images and videos that are about the people within your practice, such as the employees, the patients, and the families, you'll create what we call thumb stoppers. You know, the consumer is scrolling through their feed a mile a minute and then boom, they stop because something caught their eye. Are your current generic posts going to be thumb stoppers? If not, then honestly, it's wasted social media effort. On to our next social media mistake. Be honest now, raise your hand right now if your social media is being handled by a team member that is not exclusively a marketing person. Be honest. I know the majority of your hands are in the air right now. Assigning social media to a young and bubbly assistant or a front desk person or perhaps a treatment coordinator is simply not a way to manage social media at a 5-star level. Think about it. You want that treatment coordinator doing her treatment coordinator job at a 5-star standard. Same with your front desk person as well as your assistants. But if you assign them a responsibility as demanding and complex as social media, not only will they fail at the social media assignment, you're also taking away from them being top-notch at their primary task. To be honest, in our experience, even an assigned marketing team member still fails more often than not, according to our social media goals. They also have many Finally, even if you've corrected the many social media mistakes discussed already, there's one more that may get you. Patience is a virtue, and it certainly is with social media. You have to be consistent in every effort. Stay wide and deep. Use every resource you can. Stay involved as a team in providing great content. Results will not happen immediately, maybe not even within the first year or two. But over time, you'll deepen your brand and draw greater attention to your business in a meaningful way. When you do so, you'll generate new opportunities and even help your Google exposure. Consider 1 to 3 new patients per month in each location of your practice. And if you're providing a top-flight consumer experience across the many other commercial components of your practice, you'll see referrals increase as well. At New Patient Group, we spend a great deal of time on these efforts. So as we wrap up, I want to give you an idea of how proud we are at New Patient Group around the efforts we provide for our social media clients. This is a common category that initiates many conversations between us and a new client. We do all the things we've talked about in this presentation, as well as partner you up with an assigned social media expert, creative assignments to take you through your calendar year, and analysis provided at the conclusion of each month. Also uniquely, with our social media, we generally package our phone training and ongoing mystery calls together. Great social media leads to a new type of phone call conversation, and this needs training. Training needs accountability. One leads to the next, which leads to the next, and each needs focused attention. Handling consumer phone calls will be the next topic in our webinar series, and it's a good one and an absolutely critical measure in every practice. Finally, I want to mention a key resource we use at New Patient Group. The image you see here is our digital operational success platform. We use this to coordinate and house our social media resources in our partnerships. But more importantly, it's also where we house our many client training resources and allow our clients to manage their business in many ways like practice communication, employee training, human resources oversight, plus many, many more management features. It's truly a great tool, and you can easily learn more about this tool by browsing our website further. So with that, I want to thank each of you for joining us on the webinar today. I want to make you aware of a special opportunity we're providing to any of our webinar attendants. As mentioned a moment ago, our next webinar will focus on first-class phone answering systems, and it will be a great learn. We are offering to all of our attendees one complimentary mystery phone call and analysis on that call. That is, we'll record a call and then share it with you around the areas that would need to instruct change according to our 6-step VIP phone training system. Please call me or email me your interest to participate. I welcome any conversations at my cell number or email included on this slide. Thanks for your attention, and now we'll open up for any questions that have been noted on our chat feature throughout the call.